Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve, Ramona, and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast.
What? Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I am so fired up to have you join us today. We dedicated this podcast exploring the idea of doing your life and doing business with a servant's heart. That purpose will lead to impact and change in somebody's life. Imagine giving that gift out every single day. We also developed this podcast to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you through our guests. Another thing, taking that information and sharing that gift with others. Again, a servant's heart. It's all about gift giving. And we're in Christmas time, so we all know what gift giving is. So here's your call to action, audience, while you listen to this incredible guest. I want you to think about how you're going to serve yourself and serve others today, and what impact you're going to create today. That key word is today. I didn't say tomorrow. I didn't say next week. After you listen to the show, go out and serve somebody. I guarantee you're going to feel great, because I do every time I do that. And today's episode is sponsored by our Pantheon Alliance. Join a community of high-income entrepreneurs and business leaders to create a world-changing thought leader platform to help grow your business. For more information, reach out to me, and I'll get you all the information on the Pantheon Alliance. Well, impact, making a difference, change, all that. You need a vision to do that. You need a direction, and that vision gives you a direction. My guest today, I'm so fired to have her on, because we've run into a number of people that we're connected with. I know she's out there helping people because they don't forget her. You're not going to forget her either. When she starts talking, get your pad and paper out, because you want to take notes. Suzanne, welcome to the show.
Oh, Steve, thank you so much. Excited for our conversation today.
You're extremely successful. I hear wonderful things about you, but I know it comes from your servant's heart. When we first met, we had that same energy like we did before the show. But you've got this phrase called thinking partner. What is that, and what's that mean?
Well, I realized something a long time ago when I started coaching. I was a health coach when I started. And I realized that most of the work I was doing was in my client's head. So how they were thinking about exercise, how they were thinking about food. And it led me down the road to positive psychology, but also mental models and how we think about things and how we come up with ideas and problem solve. And a lot of times when it's your own business, my own business included, I have numerous thinking partners, mentors that I go to, and you need that outside brain to really strategize, to come up with the right tactics and models and ways of doing your business how you want to do it, that you're just blind to because it's your own business. So this phrase thinking partner came from numerous clients saying, oh, I just needed your brain on this, or, oh, I just needed to pick your brain, or, oh, I just needed your thoughts on this, because they're different than mine. And it just really resonated with me. And it sounded different and more relational than just being your business coach.
Yeah, I love that. My dad used to tell me when I was young, never recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
These people have built the wheel, go out and talk to them. So what you're telling me, it's really hard to run a business by yourself.
Yes. Yeah. You feel like you're isolated on an island, and you look to the internet to find what you need or the support or whatever. Sometimes it's out of comparisonitis, like, well, oh, let me find somebody else out there who does what I do, and let me see how much they charge, and let me see how much they how big of a following they have. Let me see what their emails look like. And then your whole business is created from a space of comparisonitis and copying, 6 other people, and it's not coming from your own voice.
Yeah, and you got outside brain and comparisonitis. I'm not even saying it right. She's full of words. There's many more coming. Just be prepared, which I love. So let's jump into community, because I know you have a community, but so
Yes.
that ties into all this, right?
It does. It does because I was lonely as an entrepreneur. And I remembered my very first business, 1992, no cell phones, no social media, no internet. And I built this business with a list of people on a legal pad. And that was my community that I used to organize snowboard trips 3 or 4 times a year. And I would mail a postcard or a flyer for the next trip, or I would call people. And it was all based on their relationship with me, the know, like, and trust thing, but also fun. And so I'm big into fun. If I'm not having fun, I won't do it. Tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it twice, maybe 3 times. And I just think entrepreneurs need that. They need the room full of people who are at different stages of business, from just starting out and building their network to really establish mentors and examples to interact with, and all really be from that go-giver mindset. So it was one of the first things I set out to do when I made the move to all business coaching about 7 years ago. And it started with a free Facebook group, and now it's a formal paid community with all kinds of assets and events and nurturing, and just it lights me up to do it.
When you say the word free, my servant heart starts pounding, because don't you agree that we should be given free our all our IP, all our intellectual property, what we know, what we do? You did that, and look what you're doing. You've got a paid community doing quite well.
Mhm.
Talk about
Yeah.
that, because I think free people are like, oh, I
Mm.
can't give stuff away free. I got to pay rent, got to pay taxes, da
Well,
da da da.
I'm going to argue with the fact that the biggest names in the coaching, education, marketing space, they give all of their knowledge, all of it, for free, whether it's on YouTube, their blog. And if you need those resources, yeah, go get them. I can point you in the direction of, where to learn and who to learn from, because they give it all for free. But when it came to me, it was the hardest thing to wrap my head around, that if I wanted paid coaching clients as a business coach, I had to let people know what I knew, who I've learned from, and what I could do for you if we worked together. And if part of that information you got when you paid me, what was the difference between what I was giving on social media or to my connections? And I just really just dove into, what does that look like? And what it looks like is you get me when you pay me. And so it's custom for you. The information I give out online, I don't think it's generic, but it is everything I know. I give out my best ideas to people for free every day. That way they don't occupy rent in my own head. So it serves me as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
But I think this is really important to wrap your head around, that people don't pay you for information. Information is free and it's everywhere. And what you've designed or what you've come up with is nothing that innovative that somebody can't find it somewhere else for free. So you have to have an offer or some sort of relationship with your paying people that warrants that money being exchanged. And I think that is such a really hard place for so many to wrap their head around.
It's so well said. It's probably one of the best I've heard, because you're right. There's free chasers out there. People just free for free. They're just signing up,
But
but
they
they're never
don't
growing.
implement. They don't,
Exactly.
they don't
No
implement.
action. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of the word accountability. That's what,
Mhm.
because I've heard from your clients, that's what
Mhm.
makes you so powerful, is
Yeah.
making them, hey, Steve, we talked last, da da da. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, well, let's work. You don't yell at me, but
Mhm.
so talk about that with that paid part, because what you said is
Yeah.
powerful on top of the accountability.
Well, I think even my members in my community who, full transparency, they pay $97 a month to be there. And my one-on-one clients get that community for free as a bonus for hanging out with me and paying me to be their coach. But even my $97 members, if you had 5 of them here in the room right now, they would all feel that they personally know me. They all feel that they've gotten time with me, whether it's in a group or email. I have a WhatsApp thread with every single member of that community. There's 54 members right now. We'll be at 100 as soon as I launch it to the public in January. But I am committed to having that WhatsApp thread with every single person who's in my community. And perfect reason why I had 4 people coming to a 30-minute call with me today to present to me their new offers. They had been through a video training of mine in my community, and I wanted to physically be in the room when they told me what the offers were they came up with. And I was on someone else's podcast earlier today, and I thought it was going to be 30 minutes, and it was an hour. And I literally went to WhatsApp right here on my computer in real time while on a podcast and messaged those 4 people and said, I won't make it today. Please meet without me. Here's the link. Talk about your offers. I'll answer any questions you have. And that personal attention to detail is what I wanted when I hired my first coach for $10,000 and never even got to talk to her.
Value, 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 value.
Yeah.
That's her middle name. It's not Susan Taylor King. It's Susan Value Taylor King. And I'm
I don't
making a
like
big
that.
point of
I
this.
don't like that.
I know I didn't. It doesn't. I like
That's
the
okay.
Susan Taylor King better. But audience, if anything you get from this podcast, she's super successful. I mean, you run the numbers. She's making, let's just be flat, around 5,400 a month, bringing value to people, and it's going to grow to 100. Bringing value to people. If
Yeah.
you're a servant's heart, that's what you're going to do. And there's value. You have to pay for that value. Let's talk about vision. When we first met, your thoughts on vision were so powerful. Talk about that and how you help people with that.
Well, I think without vision, and not in a woo-woo like
Yeah.
vision board, wish it to happen, but without a big picture vision for yourself and for your business and for your family, if you have a family, I think without that, you can't make those smaller goals and you can't make, things happen incrementally in your business.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things I've noticed coming from, I had a 25-year career before I was a coach as a dental hygienist. And there was a treatment plan involved for every patient. Not the ones that came in every 6 months and were on maintenance, but the ones who needed more from me. There was a treatment plan and we talked about the treatment plan. So there was that diagnosis phase, and then there was the active, it's going to take 4 visits, it's going to take 6 visits, it's going to be 12 visits, and you're going to need anesthesia or you're not going to need. And it was like this, I don't know, kind of cut and paste. You need this and you need this and plus this. And I wanted my coaching business to be the same because not everybody is the same. And when it came to creating that vision and helping other people do that, without that big picture, you're just working a job. So as an entrepreneur, my big picture vision was to work from home because I was adopting a baby and I couldn't bear to adopt a baby and then put him in daycare. And I
Mhm.
thought, all right, how can I do this and be at home? And then big picture, I work slightly to pay for college, but my husband's doing a great job saving from his income on that. my big picture was to have my family be able to travel and have a second home and make a bigger difference for entrepreneurs like me. And I'm my own client, honestly. When I thought about what I was creating, I created it for me. And that's when I've been the most successful in every phase of my coaching practice. And I've pivoted 4 times in my
Wow.
coaching practice. We can talk a little bit about pivots if you want. But each time I pivoted, it was really important for me to know why I was doing that. And it was based on who I was when I started as a coach and what I needed. So every single time it was based on, okay, who am I right now? What do I need? What would I spend to hire somebody? And that's how I've created. And when I've created outside of that, full transparency, I've had many launches that nobody bought anything. I've designed many things where not a single person said they wanted it. And it's devastating. But at the same time, those things that weren't successful for me were not based on the work I've done myself, for myself, to myself, for my own business. And that's shocking to me to admit that. When I created something for money, oh, let me have this program that's going to be this much money and it's going to do this thing, but I didn't fully believe in it and I didn't fully do it myself, never
Okay.
worked.
No. Vision has to be your vision. And that's why I love that
Yes.
you say that. And audience, one of the great tip is, what's your vision? Figure that out. Go
Hmm.
out to your mentors, go out to your community, go out to Suzanne, whoever, to find the vision. And it's interesting you mentioned pivots. We're so aligned, because I was going
Yeah.
to talk about redefining success, which is that pivot.
Nice.
Because again, vision and success go together, because my success might be 150,000 a year, pays my bills, and I can travel once a year with my family.
Right.
Hallelujah, go for it. And I know we've talked about that. But if your
Hmm.
success is 10 million in the bank, that's a whole different vision. Talk
Yeah.
about that, and you're pivoting to redefine your success.
Well, I think I worked with a coach 2 or 3 years ago and did 14 different assessments on myself
Wow.
for my most recent pivot. Um, and my most recent pivot looked like just more speaking, more events, more facilitation, some bigger clients, some bigger projects, an agency partner, things I had never done before, but it was part of that expansion process of my vision. Um, and I, I don't think I would have been able to do that if I didn't know myself
Mm.
extremely well. And then those assessments, doing those, really showed me where my skills lied. And I think that is to admit to myself that I'm not a good details person. For example, I put something in my to-do list for today, and it involves doing like 5 small little things. It's going to drive me crazy till 5 o'clock, knowing and repeating you have to do this and then this and then this. And then I hate that stuff. So knowing that, my assistant is hyper focused on little details. So if I give him this to do, I can literally say one sentence and he knows that it involves 5 little details. But had I not done all of those assessments on myself and really lean into vision, mission, values, big picture thinking, overhead views of people's businesses, strategy, tactics, implementation, and little details, no, I don't
Yeah.
want to. Uh, that's why I have people to do that now, but I didn't for years. And it was this constant place of frustration. for me. I don't understand why I'm not moving forward, getting more done. Oh crap, it was all that to-do list. It was all those little details. I just didn't do them.
You need to find somebody else. And
Yeah.
self-aware, which is powerful,
Yeah.
so powerful.
Huge.
We're coming to the end here. We got a few more minutes. One thing I got to say is dental hygienist to coach, perfect
Yeah.
bridge. Because
I
dental
know.
hygienist, you're talking to people all the time. You probably were coaching when you're a dental hygienist.
Yes, I
Not
was.
only on their teeth,
Yeah.
but on their life. It's
Yeah.
like a bartender.
Life, sugar, weight
Yeah.
loss, exercise, you name it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that leads to my last question, because I was in the fitness, I've told you, fitness industry for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
All this is great, but if our health, I'll just say it sucks or
Yeah.
not good, how much does it affect all this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
I mean,
it
that's what I'm currently working on. I'm 58. I noticed I wasn't quite as strong as I used to be. Oh, well, you're not lifting like you used to be. And I just started noticing some changes physically, which I have been so lucky my entire life, never had that before. And I thought, oh, well, you're not doing what you used to do, so you can't expect to look like you used to look. Okay, let's fix that. So that's my project for 2025. There's no business projects because that's all moving and I'm grooving along how I want to. That's all planned out. That vision is there. So creating that vision for myself personally, that felt like a great project for 2025.
Yep, take care of yourself first. And
Yeah.
audience, look at your health, reach out to a coach, mentor, whoever, because it's so powerful. As they say, that person, especially mental health too, that physical and mental. I just
Yeah.
talked to a CEO a couple of weeks ago, and he's going through a divorce. Well, his company's tanking because he's not
Yeah.
100% in. And that's no blame there. He just has to figure out how to manage that. So let's
Yeah.
end with a fun question here.
Okay.
Really fun, because you're such a fun guy. The audience, you've ever talked to her, go to her community, go to somewhere, you're just gonna have fun with her on top of learning so much.
Oh,
So
I
I'm
have an awesome free event on Thursday.
oh, shout it out. Let's go
Incredible.
really quick. Shout it out.
I partnered with my AI mentor to create a workshop on prompting, and it's really incredible if you're just looking to dip your toe into having AI do more for you.
Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, and I'll get this. And this will be out before
Okay.
Thursday. So we'll
Okay.
make sure I get it out tomorrow so people have a day to who listen to
Okay.
it. So I've got a reservation at a restaurant.
Okay.
Table of 4. You're obviously going to sit in one of the chairs. So in the 3 empty chairs, who would you invite, dead or alive? Why would you invite them? And what food would you order?
Ooh, okay. So my dad, who passed away in 2010, um, and I'd hate to leave my mom out, but if I include her, her and my dad
Well,
are gonna have an argument, so we're not
oh,
gonna do.
okay.
Uh, so we're just gonna go with dad and Epictetus, Stoic philosopher,
Yes.
and Lance Armstrong.
Interesting. What a table. So what are
Yeah.
we eating at this table? Because I'm going to grab a chair. I want to be at this table.
I'm having steak and something red wine. Steak, red wine. That's I don't know. My dad was a cyclist, so there would be a connection there between my dad and Lance. Um we'd be talking about philosophy and you know just life in general and looking back at our paths, that we've
Yeah.
taken, and Epictetus would help us do
Oh my
that.
God. So powerful. I love listening to these tables because you sit down and think about really for 5 minutes going, wow, what will we
Yeah.
learn? I mean, all kinds of things from a sports guy to a stoic like that.
Yeah.
Suzanne, you're an absolute blessing. You're a top-notch, top
Right
3%
back at you.
coach. I really love how you do this. I can help you. I help you. If not, I'll find help for you type of attitude. And that's what a coach
Yeah.
should have. If you're a coach out there, you know what? If it's not a fit, find something else for them or somebody else. How
Yeah.
can people reach out to you and support you?
Everything's that you need is on my website, and everything's there about the community. I only have
Okay.
2 coaching offers besides the community. So it's an 8-week program that's a year's worth of coaching in 8 weeks. and because that's what I wanted. So that's what I created, something faster and more implementation and more action oriented. And then working with me one-on-one. That's it. It's all on my website, and love to hear from anybody who's just has a question about anything we talked about today.
Yeah, there's a contact page there too, so you can send that, fill out that box. You see them all the websites, you can reach out.
Awesome. Yep.
Suzanne, thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. I was fired up for this show, and you've succeeded, exceeded, and succeeded. Oh, I just did that pretty cool. Exceeded and succeeded my thoughts on this, and I appreciate you. And audience, here's your call to action at the end. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, but not for the reasons you think. A lot of you probably heard this, but I think a podcast is a gift. You're listening to Suzanne and you're going, you know, my friend needs vision. He's struggling. Take this podcast, subscribe, and you'll have access to it, and share that gift with them going, hey, I just listened to Suzanne. Oh my God, she's got really cool ideas. You share that with them, and let's walk that journey real quick. They listen, they go, I'm going to reach out. They reach out to Suzanne, become part of her community, and guess what? They start growing. Their business starts growing. You just gave the servant's heart gift that I talk about all the time. That's the power of the podcast. Also, too, if you want to comment on the YouTube channel for Suzanne, I'll make sure she gets all those. Or if it's a critique of the podcast, me and Suzanne know it's all about you guys. Motivation, education, and inspiration. So whatever we could do to change the podcast, I'll look at it and see if we can change. With that being said, me and Suzanne want to thank you all very much for watching or listening to this podcast. And we'll see you all in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. See you, everybody.